Welcome to Troublemakers Daily, your daily missive of fierce compassion and bold clarity. I'm Danielle, a founding member of the Troublemakers community. Today, let's talk about the dangerous myth that our well-being is primarily a matter of individual choice. There's a pervasive narrative in our field that has gone unchallenged for far too long. The focus is disproportionately on the individual, on self-care, therapy, and mindset, rather than on how unequal access to resources impacts our mental, emotional, and physical health. Think about the messages that saturate our professional spaces. Just practice more mindfulness. Just establish better boundaries. Just find the right therapist. Just shift your perspective. Just meditate more consistently. Just practice gratitude. As if transformation were simply a matter of individual will rather than structural possibility. Now, don't misunderstand me. These practices have value, but there's something profoundly dishonest about suggesting that the primary barrier to well-being is a lack of individual effort rather than systemic inequality, about pretending that the person working 3 jobs to survive just needs to find time for self-care, about implying that the parent with no childcare options just needs to prioritize better, about suggesting that the person living in a neighborhood without green space, fresh food, or clean air just needs to cultivate a more positive mindset. This hyper-individualized framework doesn't just fail those we serve, it gaslights them. It suggests that their struggle is a personal failing rather than a predictable response to unjust conditions. It places the burden of healing on those with the fewest resources to facilitate it. And perhaps most insidiously, it keeps us focused on individual repair rather than collective resistance to the systems causing harm in the first place. So what does it look like to practice therapy and support healing without perpetuating this myth? It begins with naming the reality of structural violence, with acknowledging that access to basic resources, safe housing, nutritious food, quality health care, time for rest, is distributed unequally based on race, class, gender, ability, and other factors. With recognizing that no amount of mindfulness can compensate for material deprivation. It continues with expanding our understanding of what constitutes care. Yes, therapy matters, but so does organizing for living wages. So does advocating for universal health care. So does fighting for paid family leave and affordable childcare. So does challenging the systems that create the very conditions from which we're trying to help people recover. Today, I invite you to notice where you might be inadvertently reinforcing the individualistic framework. Where might you be suggesting that healing is primarily about personal choice rather than collective change? Where might you be focusing on coping skills when what's really needed is structural transformation? Remember, we cannot separate mental health from social justice. We cannot disconnect individual suffering from collective conditions. We cannot pretend that healing happens in isolation from systems that shape our lives. And we do a profound disservice to those we serve when we suggest otherwise. This isn't about abandoning individual support. It's about placing the support within its proper context. It's about acknowledging that while we work to help people navigate unjust systems, we must simultaneously work to transform those systems. That true care requires both responding to immediate suffering and addressing its root causes. Take this with you into your day. Your work matters. You matter. And your willingness to challenge the myth of individual healing in favor of a more honest, more holistic, more justice-oriented approach, that's not just better therapy. It's necessary revolution. This is Troublemakers Daily, brought to you by troublemakers.art. Until next time, keep making good trouble.